morning, everyone. All right, I'm gonna put you down before we get hurt. Oh, now I'm dizzy. Okay, so firstly, hi. How are you doing? How's things going for you? I do have a bike in my kitchen, if you spotted that, and our bed is on the floor. Many questions. However, that is not the focus of the video today. Today, I will be doing a wedding prep vlog. So we are in that that very nice, somewhat stressful sort of 3 to 4 weeks out period. It's a Saturday. I've got a lot of stuff to sort today, and I wanted to kind of show you guys where I'm at, what I'm doing, the things that I'm focusing on at the moment as we come into our DIY-ish, minimalish wedding in Auckland, New Zealand in beautiful summer. So come along with me today. We'll run through a bunch of things. So we finally have breakfast, we have coffee. So I'm gonna run you through all of the checklists and everything that I have going at the moment, which means that 3-4 weeks out, I'm actually feeling pretty good. Like I feel like I have everything covered. So I'm gonna go through what all of that is and all the details there to know that we are all under control for the wedding. I then have a couple of errands to run today. I need to take Bailey, my dog, for a walk. I need to do some groceries, probably a couple of other things. And then this afternoon, I will actually get out all of the stuff that I'm using and I will run through all of that. We'll do a bit of a show and tell so you can see what I'm doing, what I've got, how I've organized it so that I know that we are all under control. Okay, so later on, Laura is just jumping in here because I realized that I didn't even say basically what we're doing for our wedding. So there is no context for this and we need context. So I'm gonna do that now before we go any further. So we are having our wedding in Auckland, in the Auckland suburbs. So we're not going out far anywhere. We did that because we have people coming in from overseas, family, and we don't want to make it stressful for them or stressful for us, you know, having to drive 3 hours out into the middle of nowhere to this super gorgeous venue where people are getting lost and all of that. Really great in some instances. I know that I'd be too stressed about people getting lost and confused and whatever. So we're keeping it local. We are having our ceremony at a church, even though we are both totally non-religious. Just looking into the different options for venues, I was like, I do not want to be having to like hire chairs and bring those in and sort lighting. Bailey is choosing now to rip up paper, thank you buddy, and sort opening that up and closing that down and everything. So no, we are getting married at a church. So we have pews, everyone's going to sit on pews. They're already there, it's already set up, it's already gorgeous. And our celebrant, so the person conducting the wedding, is just the minister of the church. So that's going to be super easy. We will do our wedding cake and tea and coffee there at the community centre that they have attached to the church. So again, that should be super easy just because the chairs, tables, the crockery, the plates, forks, everything is already there. We just have to make sure that it's clean by the end of that. So there'll be some decorations for the church and some for where we're doing the tea and coffee and cake, and obviously the cake itself, but there's not a whole lot to do there. The reception is then also close by, so we will be going straight from the ceremony to the reception, and that is just at a local restaurant that has a really nice event space. So again, tables, chairs, tablecloths, plates, napkins, eating utensils, serving utensils, all of that is already provided. And we'll be using the bar facilities that they have there and the restaurant facilities to do our catering, so we don't need to do all of that. So again, for the reception, it is going to be decoration set up, but it is not a major. So I suppose that's why I'm calling this like a minimalish DIY wedding, because we are doing certain things ourselves. Like I'm doing a lot, but it is nowhere near doing an entire wedding ourselves. So that's kind of the context for where we're at on this. And I'm gonna go get Bailey to rip up that paper somewhere else. Bear with. Alright, so I mixed things up a bit. My breakfast was just too hot to eat and Bailey needed to go for a walk. So we went and did that first. So I will now eat my breakfast and run through things with you. Okay, so my holy grail document, the one that has the most important stuff on it, is my run sheet. So this run sheet you can start making basically as soon as you know the main details of your wedding. So like where it is, the times vaguely, and basically what you're gonna need to like set up and pack down and bring there and take away again on the day. So that's where you have all of those big kind of logistical moving pieces. My run sheet at the moment has the week of. We have sending the final run sheet in case there's been changes to all our helpers. Deciding if we need fans based on the weather, so like little handheld fans for everyone, just if it's going to be really hot. Buying the milks that we're going to need for tea and coffee. So we've got a few different milks. We'll buy those, put them in the fridge. And then also going to our reception venue with our helpers, just so that it's really fresh in their minds as to what like all our instructions and diagrams mean, and we can answer any kind of final questions, make sure we're clear on that. The next thing on the run sheet is the day before. Once you get to the day before, that's when all the logistical moving puzzle pieces have to start kind of coming together. So this wasn't easy to write out for us, but I think I've got it basically nailed now. So we have picking up our wedding arch the day before, because we're hiring that. Attaching the flower arrangements that I've made to that arch day before. So if there are any issues attaching it, which I know there could be, we have time. We have our ceremony run through the evening before the wedding, so we'll be attending that. We're having little olive branches as decorations at our wedding, so I will have someone run around the neighborhood where there are like olive trees hanging over people's yards and just steal bits of those. We'll be getting people to come pick up all the non-perishable items that they're taking to the wedding the day before. We will give the little pocket flower things, boutonnieres, or however you pronounce it. French is not my strong suit. We'll give those to both of our dads the day before. We will pack our overnight bag because we will need that for at the end of the wedding when we stay at our Airbnb. And we will drop Bailey off at one of our friends' places. So this is a friend who is not coming to the wedding, but is happy to have Bailey for us. So we'll do that the day before, so that once we get to the morning of, we know that Bailey's happy, he is taken care of. So that's our day before. There's obviously other moving parts happening through there, but this is the stuff that I know we need to actually like remember to do something about that may not otherwise be prompted. What I have next is a list of all of the setup stuff required. So for the ceremony, the cake and tea and coffee, and then for the reception, I literally have a list of all of the items that we should be expecting to go to those three different sort of areas that we're setting up. I wanted to list everything because I knew that I was starting to get nervous about like silly things like not having the brush and shovel there to clean up the paper confetti that the flower girls are showing. So that is literally on the list for the ceremony setup, is brush and shovel. All of that I have listed out, and I've also listed out who is bringing it there and then who is taking it away. Okay, the next bit that I get to is the actual wedding day. So first thing I have listed is for the reception and ceremony setup, who the helpers are, for the cake, tea and coffee, who the helpers are, and then for after the reception, taking the decorations away, who those helpers are. I wanted to make sure that I knew exactly who was who, so that then when I have all my timings, I can reference those specific helpers. They are color coded, and then I know who's doing what, and it's going to be really clear when I send out this run sheet to them, so that they know where they're meant to be, what they're meant to be doing. I then have basically the timeline from the beginning of the day running through all the things that need to happen. So I have when I would expect the helpers to arrive to set up at the reception, and then when I'd expect them to leave, when the church doors are opening so that the people who are setting up for the ceremony can get in, all that good stuff. I've got where my dad checks that basically everyone's there so I can actually enter the church. Let's hope that that all goes well. That is my run sheet. So it's basically what needs to happen the week of, the day before, the stuff that we need to have for each of the setup locations, who the helpers are, and then the run sheet for the day with it listed out color-coded as to what helpers are doing what where. The other document that I have that is super helpful and has helped me to have much less stress in the last couple of weeks is my final to-do list for the wedding. I realized I needed this a couple of weeks ago because I had lots of little things coming into my head. So this has been my dumping ground where I have a thought around, oh my gosh, I can't forget this one little thing. On that final to-do list, I have checking in with the people who we want to make speeches to check that they're okay with that, getting the seating chart printed. I have a tiny bit left to do on our fake flower arrangements for our arch. Make the ice, right? Like make the ice that I need for the reception. All of those little things where if you realize the day of or even the day before is going to be really stressful. So I just keep referring back to this. This is going to keep that stress away. I have some errands to run that are like non-wedding related, so I will get on with that and then we will actually go through and I will show you all of the stuff that I'm using for my wedding. Alright, I just got back home. It is lunchtime. I don't have much because I still need to do groceries, so we are doing a smoothie bowl for lunch. And then we will get on with our other errands and going through all of the wedding stuff. Everything is in the spare room, but it is a mess in there. We cannot have a look at it all there. So I'll be bringing everything out here, which is actually probably good for my own organization. So water bottle here, dog there. I'm gonna go get everything and bring it in. Oh, that's a heavy one. That's everything. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning at the church. This is a little basket that I thrifted. So we have two of our friends' kids who are going to be our flower children. I'm saying flower children because there's a girl and a boy. But anyway, flower children. So the girl, so she's a bit older, she'll be carrying this and then they'll both be reaching in to take out the paper confetti, which is in another bag. Let me grab that. This is what we have so far for our paper confetti. So this is just a bunch of different shapes in like pretty colors. So to make these, because we did make all of this, I got some scrapbooking paper in pretty colors. These are literally just from the warehouse. So I got some pretty metallic ones. And then it was this pack that just has pages with like different colors. So I remember using these like for arts and crafts when I was a little kid, but anyway, we've been using these to punch out the different shapes and just collecting it in this. So that is what will be in this basket for the flower girl, flower boy. So really, really cheap on that. Bit hard on your hands after a while, but I'm really excited for it. Now, my aunt who got married recently said to definitely try like Alibaba for certain things. There was only one thing that we bought, which is a few of these different little pocket flowers, boutonnieres, again, French, not my strong suits. We have a few different kinds. This is just one of them. So I think for like the 8 or so of these, it was like $60-$70 delivered. So and they're just really, really cute. I really like them. So we have a few different ones of these, so they'll have slightly different ones, but yeah,
Really excited for these. Oh, and if anyone is a bride getting married in Auckland, like later this year, and you want any of this stuff, please let me know down below, because I'm planning to on-sell most of this once I've used it for the wedding. This is probably the most exciting thing. So we have two of these. I've just got one of them here because they take up so much space. So this is what is going to be going on our arch. So we have two of these. They'll sort of be at like slightly different heights, so slightly asymmetrical. So this here looks so massive on camera. I feel like it's not that massive in real life, but there you go. So this is fake flowers in fake flower foam. So the foam is from Spotlight. A lot of the flowers are from Spotlight. Most of the rest of them are Kmart. And then these, oh, you really cannot see. These little ones here, almost like tiny baby eucalyptus, I got off Trade Me. They were like clearance. They're a horrible color. I've actually hand painted all of these. I painted them off the flowers, obviously, and then put them on, because trying to paint it next to everything would be too terrifying. So I have two of these. Really excited for these. Not sure how attaching it is going to go. We will see. But again, just looking at like pre-done fake flower arrangements was so crazy expensive. So I thought I'm going to give this a go myself. So I started this to give myself enough time that if I made mistakes, I'd pull it all out, get another bit of the foam to put it in and like retry it. I gave myself enough time to do that. But after this one, I felt pretty confident. So I've just got a couple more to add to the second one. And then those will be done. And I'm so excited for these. I think they're going to look amazing on the day. My mum is still in the process of making the pew decorations that we're going to have. Again, that is all fabric from Spotlight, and I have a family member who can sew, and they are very basic. So that kind of takes care of itself. So we'll move on to for the tea and coffee. So I got two of these boards in advance from Kmart. I saw them, I liked them, I got them, because it's always the way with Kmart. If you see something you like and you don't get it then, they will just phase it out. Don't ask me why, it's just the way of the world. So I got these. They started to look a little bit funny after a little bit, and I've done woodworking before. So what I did was I just gave these a really light sand just to get that top layer off, and then I resealed it with some food safe bench top oil that I have. So these are now food safe, they are sealed, they are nice and smooth, and I'm really happy with them. So we have two different flavors of cupcakes. So one per board for those. Okay, for the wedding cake, sticking with that same kind of rustic vibe, so heavy. Which way up do I want this? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I'll go that way. Oh wait, there's gonna be cake on it, so you're not gonna see it anyway. Duh. Okay, so this is what our wedding cake will go on. So it's a wooden stand, which I've also stained because it just looked a little bit pale, looked a little bit anemic, with a marble top. So this will be in the middle, cupcakes either side, again just from Kmart, so nice and simple for that. Okay, last few things for the cake and tea and coffee. So the bench in the community center there is like this weird blue laminate, so I was like, I want to cover that with something. So we found this like linen-y tablecloth from Kmart. This is like the biggest size that they do, so it will fit over the bench. That was the other thing. Measuring that so that I know when I'm looking what size I'm looking for. There is nothing worse than not knowing what size you need. So if you're thinking about covering something or doing a decoration to fit something, make sure you take measurements. You will not regret it. This needs an iron. It's been in the washing machine and then dried, and so it's all crinkled. This needs an iron, but this will be on the bench that will then have the tea and coffee and cake on. We're doing two cold beverages, so I make kombucha at home. So one of these is in the cupboard with kombucha brewing in it right now. This is the other one. So again, with that same kind of wooden look, I will be putting cold brew in this one. We'll have kombucha in the other one, and that also provides cold beverages to our guests, anticipating that it could be a really hot day. The final thing, most important for the cake and tea and coffee, is the cake slice. So this I just got from Trade Me. So I had a look. It took me a while to figure out what I was actually looking for, like the name of it. I kept searching like cake cutter and got some really weird stuff. But anyway, this is a cake slice. So this is what Josh and I will use to cut the cake. This was $15 plus $10 shipping, and I actually really like it. It's less ornate than some of the other ones, but I think that kind of suits us. So this is probably the most important thing, and we now have that done, so yay. It is hot today. Okay, what's next? Reception decorations, nice and crinkly. We have paper lanterns. We got big paper lanterns. We got these little honeycomb ones. We got these little golden ones. Get those out of the way because they're really loud. So the venue that we have has like nice open beams that kind of crisscross. They already have some fake greenery hanging baskets in a couple of places, and they have fairy lights kind of intertwined along the beams. So it's really beautiful anyway. You don't need to do much with it, and with the gorgeous wooden beams and the wooden floors, like it just looks lovely. We just wanted to add a little something, which is why we went for the lanterns. They're fairly simple, they're white, they've got that kind of wedding feel, and it just adds a little bit more, but we definitely don't need to go over the top for the venue that we're in. We have a couple of signs, one for the wishing well, so gifts and cards, I hope that people can read that, and one for the entrance, Laura and Josh's wedding. So these were like $5 each from Kmart. Comes with a little stand that it sits in. I did look at the whole like acrylic sign with the, is it the cricket, it always sounds like cricket, like the bug, but anyway, cricket machine that does all the lettering and everything, which is super cool. And if you have that available to you, or like you have a friend with it or whatever, and you can do that, totally go for it. Like, I think it looks really cool, but we didn't know anyone with one, and I wouldn't use a Cricut machine otherwise, so I just decided not to get it and just go for the little chalkboards. It was still kind of the same vibe that we were after, and it was just one less thing to worry about. Like, I opened one of these yesterday, wrote on it, put it in here. It took like 4 minutes, so I'm pretty happy with that. The numbers that we're doing for our tables, I had these lengths of wood left over from another project. So I cut these to this length, which matches the cards that we're doing for our numbers. I then got literally like my hands sore, like that did take a bit of time to just cut like a little groove in it. So our numbers just sit like that. So these are cards from Kmart, and this is like a cheap calligraphy pen from Kmart. So I've just written the numbers on. That's gonna sit on our table. Oh, I also stained these. I had a little test pot of wood stain just to make them slightly darker rather than that really pale, like unbleached wood look that you get. We just wanted something a bit warmer. So all our numbers are there. Bunch of these. Total cost like $7 or something. So really happy with those. All right, next thing is candles. We have what feels like so many candles. So most of these are pretty similar. There's a little bit of variety here. So these are big yogurt jars that we get coconut yogurt in. Take the label off, clean the rest of the glue off with acetone. That was the trick. I tried forever to Google online to find what to remove it with, and people were like, scrub it with salt and olive oil and the vinegar and baking soda, and I'm like, dude, this is a chemical thing, right? What is the chemical that breaks down the thing that bonds the adhesive? Like, can we please be scientific about this for 2 seconds? I finally found somewhere that said that it was acetone. I had that on hand anyway, took it off in like 2 seconds. So if you're trying to clean glue off of jars for this, do not sit there scrubbing it with like vinegar on a sponge for an hour like I did originally. Just go to the pharmacy, get some acetone. You will thank me for it. So we have a bunch of these with the big pillar candles in them. A lot of people are selling these because they burn for like hours and hours and hours. So plenty of people will be selling them only burnt down to here from other weddings. So if you like this kind of thing, they definitely have it available secondhand. I kept getting in too late. Like, I would see people selling these and they'd sold them in like 5 minutes. So if you can be there in the first 5 minutes to buy these from people after their wedding, do it. Totally worth it. As well as the big candles, we wanted to go for some smaller ones as well. So we have these little baby jar candles, kind of similar to tea lights, but I didn't just want to have open lights. I wanted to have it covered, which is the same deal with these big ones. So the flame isn't just out and about waiting to hurt someone, it's kind of contained a bit more. So we have 2 packs of 12 of these. They are just from the warehouse. So this is what they look like. So there's 12 in a box, and we have 2 of these. So again, I think a box of these was like $15. So really not crazy. The final thing decor wise really is that we're going to have the little bunny ears and some olive branches in little jars like these. So these ones are from Kmart. I've also painted some a slightly taupe color. This is thrifted. This is thrifted. This is thrifted. I know it's a candlestick holder, but I'm gonna put greenery in it because it's fine. I can do what I want. And my top tip that I realized, I have one in the bathroom. Let me show it to you. It's always better when you show people stuff. Give me a sec. Whew. Okay, we're here. So what you'll often find with this like nice tall greenery is you put it in a vase and it just splays outwards, like it's all over the place, and you really want it to do this nice kind of tall, elegant thing. So the way that I've got this to stay upright is I put the stalks in, kind of held it basically where I wanted to, and then I put rice in. So there is rice in here. Not sure if you can hear that. Let's assume you did. So there's rice in here. So that is kind of acting like with soil holding stuff up, like it holds it straight. But we've got that with rice. So along with all the little olive branches and all of these little vases, I'm going to be sending a bag of rice to get everything to stand up nice and straight. So that is my top tip for you on those. So like a $2 bag of rice, use that. It will work and it will be great and no one will know. Okay, I lie. I just realized for these ones, people will know, but people won't be looking because it's going to look so cute anyway that it doesn't matter. Oh, one final thing. I forgot one thing. It is literally right there. That's why I didn't bring it out. Because it was already here. Ta-da! Oh yeah, you can't really see it all the way back there. Ta-da! Okay, so this is our little L&J sign. So we're going to have this on our bridal table. So our bridal table is going to be kind of in the middle of everyone else's, rather than like way up the other end. And it's just going to be us, but there'll be spare seats. People can come and sit with us, which I really like that idea. I hope people like it too. So we've made this little sign. So these letters here were $5 each from Look Sharp. The bottom of the J wasn't flat, so it would just fall over. So I tried with my sander to like sand it to get it flat. Still wouldn't quite stand. And then Josh had the idea of putting it on a bit of wood. So this is the same as this, just left over, see? It's the same thing. So glued those on. I painted them first. That's right. Painted them first because imagine trying to get in under there with a paintbrush anyway. So painted them first and then glued them to attach them. So this is our little L&J sign. There's obviously a couple more things still to come together. Like I said, the pew decorations, my mum is currently sewing those. And there's a few other bits and pieces, but that is basically everything that we are using for the wedding. So yeah. That's kind of everything for today, guys. So let me know down below if you have any other questions or any thoughts, or if you have a wedding coming up soon in Auckland and you would like to use any of this, because basically everything is going to be for sale after our wedding in a few weeks. So anywhere from kind of mid-February onwards, hit me up. Other than that, if you have any thoughts that you'd like to leave down below, please do leave them. If you'd like me to do another one of these before the wedding, I'm thinking I might, but yeah, let me know if that is something that you would like to see. Otherwise, I will be doing a wedding day expectations versus reality video. So I'll film the first part of that before the wedding as to what I'm kind of expecting to happen, and then do after the wedding as to how it actually went. So yeah, super exciting, starting to feel really real now. Yeah, If you want to get sort of daily updates, head over to my Instagram, which is just Laura_Bryn_NZ. And otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.